Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name's Carol Allen, and I'm going to be your host today, and we're going to be talking about website development. And this is a 3-hour webinar. 3 hours might sound very long, but I can assure you it goes so fast. It really does, especially when you're engaged, when you're participating, and when you're really getting your teeth into it and getting involved. So I just want to encourage you today to, just focus on all the information that I'm going to be delivering. It's quite a lot of information. I'd highly recommend that you do have a pen and a notebook to take some notes. You will be getting a copy of these slides as well as the webinar itself. So don't worry about that. If you've not got a pen, don't worry, but I just don't want you to miss anything that I might say that I probably won't remember. And then you might ask me to repeat it. So just have a pen and paper if you can, and that will be really, really beneficial for you. So we will be taking a 10-minute break at the top of the hour. We've got 2 hours that we're going to be taking, two top of the hours that we're going to be taking 2 10-minute breaks. So, and then we'll come back after being refreshed, and then we'll continue where we left off from. So we're going to aim to conclude at around 5 p.m. today. So it's 3 hours. If you do want to ask your most pressing questions, that's what these webinars are for. They're there specifically for you to be able to ask the questions that you want to ask and to basically just get to know who we are as people. So that's why we do like to do these lives. We like to know exactly, that we're helping to deliver information that is applicable and beneficial to yourself. And I'd like to try and make this as tangible as possible, so you can run with the information and apply it directly to what you're either planning to do or what you've already started. So it would be great if you could let me know in the chat box where you're at right now in your business journey. Are you a pre-start? Are you someone who's established in your business? Or are you someone who has just started over the last few months? So is it just the idea at the moment? Or have you actually activated the idea? Let me know where you are in your business. And if you could put that in the chat, that would be really, really helpful, because then that would help me to help you to know where I'm going to be pitching this particular webinar this afternoon. So that would be great. And what I'll probably do, and I've not done this before, but I'm going to test it out anyway. Now you've all seen my face, I'm probably going to disappear. You will hear my voice in the background. If you do want to ask any questions, I'll be keeping a regular eye on the chat box. So do put your questions in there. No question is ever a wrong question. Every question is a right question, as long as it's applicable to what we're talking about today on the webinar. Okay? So please do ask your questions. This is the time and the opportunity to do that. And I'll do my endeavor best to try and answer for you. So let me just have a look at what you're all saying. So Zoe's saying she's just started. Current information is hosted by another site on our behalf, but looking to have a standalone site. What do you sell, Zoe? Alison saying, in the process of starting my e-commerce business. What kind of e-commerce business are you planning on starting, Alison? Crystal says beginning stages, but not pre-start. So what do you do, Crystal? What are you selling? So Alison says she's selling fashion accessories. I used to sell fashion accessories on an e-commerce store, Alison. Tanya said, start up with a few projects, interior design, need to finalize branding, buying a domain, but no website yet. Okay, that's great. Right, so that's great. So thank you for that. Let the rest of you, if you do want to join in, do let me know where you're at in your business. It would be great to know. Let me know what you're actually selling. Are you focused on an e-commerce business, or is it an informational business, or maybe a digital business? It doesn't matter what it is. Let's find out what you're selling. So Crystal says, I sell crystals. I do Reiki healings and psychic readings. Okay, so you're selling crystals. Okay, that's great. And crystals can be quite beautiful as well, especially the colors and the shapes and the feel of them as well, I think can be quite nice. So Zoe said, it's not selling more information, basics, and link to services. Right, I'm not quite sure that I know what you mean, Zoe. You said it's not selling more information, basis, and link to services. Oh, okay. I don't think I understand what you mean. Right, okay, not to worry. So let me just disappear, and then I'm just going to talk you through what my background is, and then I'll talk you through a little bit of information about Wenta itself. So my background basically is education and business. So I've been in education, further education, for about 25 years, which is quite a long time. And I've done a number of different roles in education. You know, I've gone from head of department right through to being principal in private education. I was teaching post-16 students molecular science in education. And I then, when I left that, I started my own business doing exactly the same thing. It was more beneficial for me to do it that way, and it was far more financially lucrative as well. To be doing it that way as well. So, you know, working with post-16 students, teaching them molecular science, and I did that for a while, and it was amazing. And then I went on to become, well, I opened up 2 e-commerce stores, and then I went on to become a business coach for teachers and showing them how to transition from the classroom straight into their own businesses. So that's what I did for a number of years. And then I decided to do something different and come to Wenta. So here I am today sharing, you know, my knowledge with you. So a lot of things that I'm going to be sharing today, it's going to be coming specifically from my experience, my knowledge, and, you know, my skills that I've developed over the years in my business. So I started my first business in 2006. You know, so count the years from there. It's been quite a long time. I can't even believe I'm saying 2006. It doesn't seem that long at all. You know, so, but it's been an enjoyable ride. I've had an absolutely wonderful time. So it's great to be sharing, you know, my experiences with people like you that have started your businesses or you're about to start, and you just want to get some insights into, you know, the kind of things that you need to know when you're focused on wanting to develop your own website. So let me just tell you a little bit about Wenta. So Wenta's been around now for 40 years this year. And I've been told come September, we're going to be celebrating, you know, the whole thing, the whole reasons why we've been here 40 years. So that's going to be a great party that we're going to be putting on. And I'm sure a lot of people like yourself will be invited. We're inviting, you know, a lot of our business owners to come along and you know, celebrate with us. So we have got offices in Stevenage, Enfield, Watford, and Luton. We rent out virtual desks and offices and workshops. And this is dependent on what kind of business you have, because you know, someone who wants a workshop is obviously going to be doing you know, a lot of manual kind of work, so you're going to need a workshop. You know, other people who want offices could be people that are offering various types of services. So we'll, you know, you can focus on wanting to get an office, and we have different varying sizes of offices that you can inquire about if that's what you want to. We also have virtual desks, and the virtual desks are quite popular because, you know, there's a lot of people who were stuck at home during COVID and they no longer want to be at home. So they want to be out there in an office, you know, sharing, you know, their professionalism with other people, and you know, socializing at the same time as well, and getting to network with other small business owners. So you can rent out a desk if that's what you want to do. So we offer 3 types of different ways of how you can support your business and develop your business that it moves on to success. And you can contact us at any of our sites to inquire about the different types of, desks, offices, or workshops that you want to make an inquiry about. All of our car parking facilities are completely free, which is a great bonus because you know that car parking can be quite expensive. We also offer mailing services as well. And, if you want your mail to come to one of our offices, then, you can sign up for that. If you want to use our addresses at any of the locations for your business address, you'd be welcome to do that as well. That will cost £13 plus VAT, and that's per month. So, a lot of people tend to sign up for the virtual addresses because it's not very professional if you use your own home address for your business, especially if you're a limited company. A lot of sole traders do, and that's fine. But when you're a limited company, you want to make sure that you stand, you put your feet in that stand, in that way of making sure that everything about what you say and who you say you are looks professional. As for sole traders as well, so, that's why a lot of people tend to go for the virtual addresses, so that they don't have to use their own home addresses. We offer free services like the one-to-one Zooms and free telephone services as well. They're about an hour. And we also offer free webinars like what I'm actually doing right now. So, there's a lot that we offer for free. And, you can book an appointment with any advisor, and you can book as many appointments as you would like. And, you can just talk to us about anything business, anything that's on your mind to do with your business, how to grow your business, how to market your business, anything that you need in terms of your business. And we offer that as a completely free service. When I first started my business, this kind of service was not around. So, I believe what we're offering here is an absolutely fabulous service to support you, the small business owner. We also launched 2 new products last year on our website. If you go to wenta.co.uk, and you'll see the first product, which is called Net Zero. And that particular product is all about us showing and supporting you, the small business owner, on how to reduce the carbon emissions in your business. So if you've got a business that, you want to introduce a sustainable strategy to, then we can help support you with that. We've got 4 subscription levels that we have created. And the first one is bronze, completely free. I'd really strongly recommend that you sign up to that while it still is free. And we also have silver, which is the paid version. We've got gold, and we've got gold plus as well. So, there's quite a lot that we're offering. And, the fact that we're offering bronze free, I don't know how long it's going to be free for. It's been free for a while, but we're also, as I said, we've got silver and all the other levels as well, which is going to benefit you in your business as well. The silver carries a lot more training videos in it, as well as resources as well. You will get some information on the bronze level in the training videos, and you'll also get a certification. It's more of a certificate card that goes, it's like a badge, and it goes on your website, and it does tell everyone that you are on the journey of sustainability. And that is very, very attractive to a lot of buyers. A lot of your potential ideal customers that are looking for you will be drawn to that, because a lot of consumers are super intelligent and they know a lot about sustainability. They know a lot about focusing on reducing the carbon emissions that affects and impacts the air that we breathe and the atmosphere. So, it's all about being cleaner, greener and cleaner. So that's what it's all about. So do go and have a look when you get your break and see what we've got over there. And the next one that we offer, which is the final product that we launched last year, it's called Savings. If you click on the Savings tab on our website, you will go to Feel Good, Feel Free, Feel Good, and Feel Great. And there's 3 bundles there. Feel Free is everything free. There's resources in there that you can have for free. Feel Good and Feel Great are the paid resources. So we've partnered with quite a few different small business owners, and we're offering various types of services to yourself that you can benefit from in your business. So we are offering website development, graphic designing, marketing. There's insurance brokers over there. There's accountants over there. There's all sorts of different people over there. Just go and have a look when you get your break and see if there's anything that you want to sign up to. And if you go through the Wenta links, they give you quite a substantial discount just for coming through Wenta. Okay, so that's a little bit about Wenta, and that's a bit about what we do. So we're now going to move straight on into our webinar. So this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be covering this particular content in the first part of this webinar, and then we will continue after the break. And one of the things that I do like to do, and especially with my teacher's hat on as well, I always like to give you the opportunity to read the information, and then we're going to explore what's written. So let's have a look at the demographic domains and all the technical stuff. This particular training, I must say that, we're not going to be talking anything super technical, because I want to make sure that I keep it at your level. And it's, for people that are very, very interested in wanting to know more about how to, create their own websites and what to look out for and what a good website should look like versus one that doesn't. So the aim really is to give you basic knowledge that you're going to need to be able to create a very simple but yet very effective website for yourself. So, and websites they are not a thing of the past. A lot of people say to me, do I need a website for my business? And my answer all the time is always yes. And the reason why I say this is because a website is the first part of your marketing funnel. And, I cannot stress that enough. It's the thing that your potential ideal clients will see before they even get to know you. So, why would you not want to position yourself in front of your potential ideal clients, without them not having to, pick the phone up to call you or send you an email or whatever, or, reaching out to you on social media? They can see your website. They can see what you're all about, whether what you have is of benefit to them. They can see, and they will know whether or not you are the ideal expert for them. So it's important to know, why you need a website. Although there are people that are selling on various social media sites like Facebook and Instagram, and they don't use a website. What they do is they use the Facebook page or they use the Instagram page as their form of website. But what happens if Facebook goes down? That's the thing that, people need to ask themselves if they haven't got a website, because this happened a couple of years ago. Facebook went down and they were down for 48 hours and people lost a lot of money and lost a lot of business. and it was mayhem. This happened, I think it was about 2021, the middle, I can't remember if it was the middle of 2021. Now, Facebook actually owns Instagram. They own Facebook Messenger and they own WhatsApp. And all of those social media sites went down. So I can't imagine, the mayhem that was going on at the time. And this is why I believe it's always wise to have what I call a home on the internet, which is your website. You do need it. You need to be able to have a way of how you can communicate with your potential ideal clients if the social media sites go down. And, look how big Facebook is. Who would have thought? I don't know if anybody remembers. Does anybody remember when Facebook went down a couple of years ago? Can anybody remember? And it was all over every news. It was big news right across the world. It was just mayhem. So I don't want you to be in that position where, you don't have a site, you're in business, and you're relying solely on social media. So your website as a whole, it should be able to speak directly to your ideal client. That's what your website should do. So if you have a look at the Wenta website, you will see that everything on there speaks to you, the small business owner. It speaks to you whether you've got a business that has 10 to 15 or 20 people in, or whether it's just one person that's operating that business. It speaks to you wherever you're at. So we offer various things on the website. If you can go and have a look, you'll see we offer lots of training, webinars, we offer lots of support in terms of where we can signpost you to go to find certain things, loans and so on. There's just so much on there that speaks to you, the small business owner. You also have the opportunity to book an appointment through Eventbrite to be able to speak to a business advisor. So this is how your website should be constructed in a way that speaks directly to that ideal client that you're trying to reach. So why have a website? And what a website does, it tells your story. So imagine that you are fast asleep on one side of the world, and then on the other side of the world, you have someone that's up, that's looking at your website. Isn't that cool? I think that's absolutely fabulous. I think that's a great way of how to market yourself, because they could spend a little while on your website just to get to know you, just to get to understand what it is that you're doing and what you offer as a brand and what you're all about. So that's the reason why people go on websites. They go on websites specifically to see if there is something there that they can resonate with, that will speak to whatever problem they are having or whatever their pain points are. So people are always on the hunt for solutions, and your website should be designed to tell people how you can support, whatever issue it is that they're having. So that's how websites should be created. They should be speaking all the time to the heart of where that person wants to be beyond the problem. So you're not speaking to the struggle that they're going through, but you're speaking to where they want to get to. And that's what, everything written on your website should all be speaking to where your potential ideal clients wants to get to. So, it's important to tell the story. And when we say tell the story, we're not saying that you need to tell them what happened when you were 5 years old. And then when you moved from kindergarten to, the next step and then the next step. And then, that's not how you tell your story, but you're looking at what your potential ideal client wants from you right now. And your story will be based around that. So everything on your website will speak directly to where they want to go. It's also a way of presenting your brand, letting people know what you are about. If you're offering a service-based service, then, it's a great way of people looking at your picture and seeing you right there in the About Us section and being able to resonate with who you are. And people buy into what they see. I cannot stress it enough. People buy into what they see. They make a decision whether they like what they see or not. It's first impression. And, this is why everything that goes on your website must be exactly what is going to benefit you and benefit your potential ideal clients. So it showcases your work. Just imagine, let's just say you are a chef, a gourmet chef, and you produce beautiful food and you can put that on your website. How beautiful would that look? It could be that someone's selling fashion jewelry. Could you imagine the beauty of the jewelry that's displayed when people go online and they're fascinated by what they see on the website? They love the different types of stones and shapes and colors of the jewelry that they see. This is what people love. You want people to come to a place of where they feel at home on your website. Your website should open that door and welcome them with open arms so that they feel at home and very comfortable. So your website should not be a site that repels people and, is very difficult to navigate around and difficult to understand what the site is about. Keep it simple. Don't create websites that's all texty and wordy and there's hardly any images or hardly any videos. Break it all up. Have a balance between the images and the text, and have a balance between, the videos that you put on and the text. And people love interactive websites. So let me know in the chat, why do you want to have a website? So websites basically are there really to sell what you've got. And that's what a website, it's like collating everything in one area. So if you're a coach or a consultant who gets their work through referrals and networking, then websites are great for people like you. If you're on LinkedIn, you know that people on LinkedIn, if they're going to check you out, the first thing they're going to do is go straight to your website. They'll go to your LinkedIn handle, they'll have a look at your LinkedIn profile, then they're going to go straight to your website. And if I want to check someone out, to be honest, that is exactly where I go as well. I love going to the website because I want to see if the website speaks to me, because you do have lots of people reaching out to you, wanting to do business with you. Well, are they the right people? Well, your website should tell them a lot about you. So Rebecca says to be able to purchase stock. Okay. And Crystal says for selling and bringing in more business. Okay, that's a great thing. Now, when we say a website is the first part of the marketing funnel, it basically means after people have seen your website, so that's the first bit that you're using to market to your potential ideal clients. After they've seen that, what they'll probably want to do is start looking for more content that you've created, and they'll probably start to absorb all of that content. And when they can't get enough of what you're putting out there in terms of content, then what will happen is people will begin to reach out to you. They'll start following you, and if you're offering videos on your page, which I think is a great thing to do, putting videos on your social media pages, people will follow and people will, watch whatever it is that you put out there. And you can put videos out there for absolutely anything, even talking about jewelry. You really can. So your site, may be the first thing that people will see, and then they will get used to knowing more about your brand. And to be honest, your website isn't always going to be the way that people will always find you. They might find your social media pages before they find your website. So it's important, the two goes hand in hand. If you're going to have if you're going to have a website, I would advise that you also have social media pages as well that you've set up, because there's over 2.8 billion people on Facebook. There's over 2.6 billion people on YouTube. There's got to be over 800 million people now that are on LinkedIn. And, it's growing, and there's many, I don't even know how many millions are on Twitter, but they're, wherever you go on your social media sites, you will find a lot of people. And the site that is booming right now, where a lot of people are having good success, is TikTok. I don't know if anyone's got a page over there. Let me know in the chat what kind of social media pages you've got set up. Are you on LinkedIn or Facebook, and are you active? So let me know where you've got it set up, and just put either active or not active in the chat for me, please, so that I know where you are in your social media journey as well. So, at the other end of the scale, you could be setting up as someone who's in the retail business. You're selling clothes, wine, or anything to do with e-commerce. E-commerce stores should always be very, very easy to navigate. You can get a very, very cheap e-commerce store from Shopify if you're thinking of going down that route. And I believe that they charge something like about $29 per month, which is very cheap, because they do all of the shipping, and they do, when I say shipping, all the shipping information is pre-written. They have all the pre-written refund information. They've got so much on there. They've got the payment processors. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to need to become GDPR compliant, because Shopify is already fully pledged in data protection. So, there's quite a lot that they've already done on the site, which saves a lot of time for the person who's using it, like yourself. So Rebecca says, in the process of setting up Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. That'll be fantastic. Alison says, not active yet. Crystal says, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, semi-active, LinkedIn, not active. Some of you, what will happen is it's a good idea to get onto social media and set up your personal profile pages. If you think your ideal clients are on LinkedIn, then get on to that platform. Wherever you think they are, that's where you need to get to. LinkedIn right now is gold. Any clients that you potentially get from LinkedIn, I'll tell you now that you'll end up with a very good quality of client. The clients on Facebook are a little bit different. Facebook has got a very different feel to it than LinkedIn. Facebook is a lot less formal, whereas LinkedIn is a lot more formal. So I suppose you could call Facebook a Skoda if we were to use the analogy of a car, and I think you'd probably call LinkedIn a Mercedes. Okay, so it's a very different kind of feel and look in terms of the way people behave. On Facebook, you can put your dog's dinner up and, talk about that. On LinkedIn, that wouldn't go down very well. So on LinkedIn, you do have a lot of professionals over there. You have a lot of people that are looking to do business with people like yourselves. This is why I believe that if your ideal clients are over there, you need to get over there, because your potential ideal client is waiting to meet you and you don't even know. So, you need to know why you need a website. And, once you fully understand why, then you'll have the more confidence to approach, what you do next regarding what you want to sell in your business. So, we've said it's to tell the story, it's to present your brand, it's to showcase your work and your testimonials. If you are a consultant or a coach, or you've got like a business where you can get testimonials of people, it's a great thing to put it on your website. Shout loud from the rooftops how great you are at what you do. Um, Let me know if you are working, if you're setting up at your business and you'll be working from a place of your expertise, or is this going to be something brand new that you're going to be doing as a business owner? Okay, so let's continue to move forward. So Lorna says that she's setting up from a place, she's starting her business from a place of her expertise. Crystal says it's brand new. When you're starting a brand new business, it's good to get to know more about the industry. It's good to know more about the potential ideal clients, what you know that they want, what their pain points are. A lot of times what people want, they want it right now. So what do you want your website to do? Do you want it to take money? Do you want to make people aware of your brand? Do you want to provide, do you want to use it as a form of landing page so you can promote whatever it is that you're doing? Oftentimes people say their website's not working for them. We hear it all the time. And if your website is not working, I always say it can only be one reason, and that is it's the marketing. We have got a marketing webinar that you can sign up to watch, or you can request it if you go to info@wenta.co.uk and request the webinar, or you can sign up to it and join it live. It's better to really join it live, to be honest. But people always say, my website's not working. I've created my website and nothing's not happening. And, it's important that if you are going to create a website, you'll need to learn a little bit about HTML coding. You'll need to learn a little bit about search engine optimization, SEO, because you need to understand how that is going to have a major impact on your website, because you need the HTML coding to be able to make sure that you've got really good functionality going on in your website. It could be that you might want to put a video on and you need to know how to code it in for it to work. You might want to link your video out to a page or something. Again, you need to know how to code it in so it can work. There's lots of reasons why you need to understand HTML coding. And again, search engine optimization, you need to know what the keywords are. Once you understand what kind of keywords are used within your industry, then you can put those keywords on the website pages of your website, because those are the words that people will resonate with. They won't know they're in your pages, but what will happen, because they're in your pages, and Google is the largest search engine in the world, when people go searching for the types of things that you sell and you're active on social media, what will happen is Google will send people directly to your website. And Google's done it to you. How many times have you been online and all of a sudden a website shows up in your news feed, or it shows up, you're on your mobile phone, you could be even on Google, and all of a sudden you see this website turn up in front of you and you're wondering, where did that come from? I didn't click on anything. That's because Google does all the heavy lifting. Google is a search engine and it's the largest search engine in the world, and Google owns YouTube. and Google speaks to all of the social media platforms. Google tells them what's trending. Google tells the platforms what's going on. So the algorithm speaks to the algorithm. That's how it works. So, and the algorithms, they connect with Google, connects with all the social media algorithms and tells them what is going on in the world in terms of what people are searching for. How do I know this? You go and ask Google to find something for you, or ask Google a question, and then you will see right to your left-hand side how many millions of people or thousands of people have already been looking for the same thing that you've been searching for, because Google is collecting the data. So everything we do, Google knows. You know, you can go on one device on Google, and then I'll give you an example. It happened to me today. You know, I was looking at something on my mobile phone. My mobile phone is an Apple phone. It's an iPhone. And it was on YouTube. And the moment I went onto my desktop on YouTube, you know, which is a Microsoft, we've got Microsoft Office and everything going on the desktop. YouTube was able to show me everything that I've already searched for, you know, on my Apple phone earlier on this morning. And it just goes to show there's nothing that you can do that the search engine doesn't pick up. Everything you do, you know, you're being watched. Big Brother is watching you. So Google knows every move that we are making. If you drive from here to Timbuktu, Google will tell you, you know, you will see it, that you've traveled X amount of miles and you've got X amount of miles left to travel, because you're, you know, everything that you do digitally is being connected, and Google knows. So, you know, the algorithms are working every minute of the day. They never sleep, they never stop. And this is another reason why it's important to be on social media, especially as a small business owner with a website, because the algorithm is going to always be working in your favor all the time. You know, if you're active and you're building your followers and you're posting your content, the algorithm's picking that up all the time. So what will happen when you put information out there or videos, you know, other people will be encouraged to go and see what you've posted. So, you know, it's important that your content resonates with what is your website is talking about. Very important. You know, let me know if you've got any questions. So think about, what do you want your website to do? You know, for some people, it's just to take money. For others, it's to sell merchandise. It's to sell different types of goods. You know, some people just want something that they can actually put on Amazon or Etsy or eBay. You know, so you can decide what you actually want it to do. You do get charged if you're using your websites for taking money. So people are coming to your store to purchase and you're taking the money on your site, you are going to be charged differently, you know, for your credit and your debit cards. Debit cards are always less because they know the money has to be in there before, you know, they can even purchase anything. Whereas there's a bit more risk with a credit card. So there's going to be a different fee for both. And even if you get a different, you know, payment gateway, it's still going to be the same. As long as you'll be taking money online, it's going to be the same. If you're taking money through PayPal, PayPal is going to charge you a different fee to everybody else. And one of the things that you need to note, if you're connecting your websites to PayPal, sometimes when PayPal is not sure where a particular amount of money is coming from, PayPal will sometimes hold on to the money that comes through your website for up to a week. sometimes longer, because if they're not sure and they think there's too much money coming through the account, they're going to put a block on it, and then they will halt and they will investigate before they release the money to you. So decide on, which payment gateway you want to go with, but there are many. PayPal's just one of them. Okay, so a lot of people ask as well, how much does it cost to build a website? And the short answer is it can cost absolutely anything. Some people will pay 500, some people will pay 5,000, some people will pay 10, some people will pay 18, some people pay 1,000. It just depends on what it is that you want to create. We've got clients that have paid between 10 and 18 grand just for a website, and that's doing e-commerce. So Lorna's saying Stripe appears to be a good payment gateway for e-commerce website. Yes, Stripe's very good. A lot of people do use Stripe, but the reason why some people use PayPal is because they can't get access to Stripe for various reasons. So their only alternative is that. But I would say that if you sign up to an e-commerce store, they will have their own payment gateway and you won't need to worry about it. But if you're creating a website where you have to get your own payment gateway, then you can look at various alternatives. There's quite a few. So, right. So how do you think people will find you? So let me know in the chat if you are aware of how you think people are going to find you. Do you know how people are going to find out that your website exists? Because remember, that's the first part of your marketing funnel. It's the first thing people are going to see before they even get to know you. So your website is going to say to people, this is what this particular business is about. This is what we do. This is what we stand for. This is our vision. This is our mission. These are our values. This is what we stand by. That's what your website should be saying and will be saying to your potential ideal client. It's important to be visible, and you can become visible as a brand through your website. One of the biggest reasons many years ago why Marks and Spencer's had hit rock bottom, I don't know if you all remember, some years ago, was because they didn't really have an online presence. They've got an online presence now, but before they didn't. And their online presence that they did have wasn't very strong. So, they've turned that around now. They've closed down a lot of their bigger stores and they're doing a lot of stuff now online. So, and again, Debenhams was the same. A lot of the Debenhams stores closed, but they're doing quite a lot of things online because they're realizing being online is the place to be. And, you need a website to be able to be online. The other day, I was looking at, are you all familiar with this home store called Home Sense? I think it's a sister company of TK Maxx, I think it is, to what I understand. And, Home Sense has got some beautiful decor in there, beautiful. And for the home. And I thought, oh, I'm going to pop online to go and buy something because I don't have time to run into the town to go and walk around and look for what I want. So I can just do it online. And when I tried to find the website, I found out that HomeSense, which is a multi-billion-pound company, has not got a website. They've not got a presence online. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that such a huge company did not have a social media presence online. When I put in the word HomeSense, it brought up a page and it said something like, we are not currently online. And I thought, you're kidding me. So they have no shop online. I was really surprised, very surprised, because they are a very successful company. So let me see what you're all saying. So Lorna said Stripe appears to be good, a good payment gateway for e-commerce website. Yes. Backlinks from my social media. Alison says through search engine and social media. Right. Okay. Lorna says search engine SEO keyword and key phrase search in the form of blogs. Okay, that's a good idea. And how-to blogs are very good. You want to, when you do the blogs, Lorna, it's great to do blogs that will take people from where they are when they read it to where they want to get to by the time they get to the end. JJ says, oh, hello, JJ, how are you? JJ says the websites are terrible under the TJX umbrella. I'm not sure. What's the TJX umbrella, JJ? The customer service is even worse. I'm not sure who TJX is. So enlighten me. So, you know, people need to find you fairly easily. And if you're on LinkedIn, oh, JJ saying HomeSense, TJ Maxx. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was really, really surprised to see that they didn't have a website. So I physically had to drive my car to get into the shop, into the store. I was so surprised. You know, so anyway, think about how people are going to find you. Think about your presence on social media, not just your presence, but your activity as well. You cannot just have a social media page that you are not active on. The algorithm will pick up your lack of activity, and the algorithm measures activity. It measures how often a person is connecting with a particular social media site, whichever one that is. So Facebook has its own algorithm, Twitter has its own, LinkedIn has its own, Instagram has its own, even though they're owned by Facebook. You know, they all have their own. You've just got to know how you want people to find you. Do you want them to find you through your website? Do you want them to find you through your social media pages? You know, it's rare that they're going to find you through word of mouth. Word of mouth is something that happens offline. Yes, people can recommend people to you online as well. Yes, they can. But you'll find that people will tend to find you sometimes. It will be where they bump into you, but you don't just want people to bump into you. You don't want it to be hit and miss. You want it to be intentional. How do you get it to be intentional? You build yourself a great website that speaks to your ideal client, and that's got all the right keywords on it that's going to navigate and help them to get to where they want to get to. It needs to answer questions that they've got that they want answers to. So JJ saying he was surprised also. So, you know, you've got to think about what it is that how do you want people to find you? When you're actually on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a great way of getting people to find you, because LinkedIn allows you to create a URL, a LinkedIn URL, and you can put that URL anywhere on social media. Another great way of how you can get people to find you, have you all heard of Linktree? Linktree, have you heard of it? Linktree. It's Linktree is a structured way of collating all of what you do in your business in one space. So there's boxes that LinkedIn, Linktree has boxes, and you can put links in there that links out to wherever you want it to link out to. You can put your website link in there and put underneath website, and name your website, and then someone goes into Linktree, clicks on it, and it takes them straight to your website. So there's very organized ways of how, and intentional ways of how you can get people to actually find you. But you will need to have a social media presence. There's no point in, wanting to start a business and you don't have a presence online. How are people going to find you? The other day I was talking to someone and she said, I have no intentions of going online. And, I was surprised, because I was saying, well, how are people going to find you? If you don't get online, how are they going to find you? And, this is something that you need to ask yourself. And it doesn't matter what you sell, whatever you sell, there is always going to be someone that wants what you have. So you do need to be online, because that's where all your ideal clients are. So we are now at the top of the first hour. I told you it was going to go very quickly. We are going to take a break. I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to stop the video, but I'm not going to stop the recording. Okay, so don't shut down your computers. You can just pause, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hi everyone, we're back. I hope you've been refreshed and we'll continue to move forward with this webinar. So now I want to talk about the target audience. Now, who are the target audience? Well, they are people that will be your potential ideal client. They're people who everything that you do in your business is to market to them, to attract them, to offer them a solution of that particular thing that they're looking for, because people are online for a reason. People are checking out people's websites for a reason. It's because they're looking for solutions. A lot of why people are online is because they have a need and a want. The want is often stronger than the need, and they want the problem solved, whatever that need is. It could be that they want to lose weight, so they're online looking for people that can help them to do it. It could be that they want to buy beautiful fashion jewelry, so they're online looking for shops that sell it. It could be that they're looking for the latest outfit. They're online, looking for people that has got the kind of style that they want. It could be even something as simple as looking for a particular garden fork that you need to use in your garden, and they're in the garden websites looking at various types of forks. We're coming up to summer. A lot of people now are going to be buying garden furniture, so a lot of people are going to be online looking. So, there's going to be, and this is why you need to think about your target audience, because your target audience are going to be the ones who are going to be deciding, should I buy from this one or that one? Why would your ideal clients want to buy from you? Do you know? If you do, please pop it in the chat and let me know. Why do you think your ideal clients will choose you over choosing your competitor? So, just pop that in the chat for me, why you think your particular ideal client will want to choose you. What is it that you have got that your competitors haven't got? Have you done research into your competitors? Have you, looked at what the market is saying and how big the market is for your products and your services? How well do you know your market? Because the more you know your market is the more you will know who your target audience is. You'll know who your ideal clients are, because your ideal clients are a derivative of your target audience. Look at your target audience as the big umbrella, but then you will need to niche down from there right into your potential ideal clients. So Lorna's saying that her ideal clients are people who want to gain access to finance and funding. So is this for businesses that they want to start up, or is this for houses that they want to buy? What do they need finance and funding? Or is it, I don't know, is it just anything personal, or is it for something specific, Lorna? Oh, they're looking for business growth and development. Well, that's fantastic. So JJ says his clients will be interested in novel avant-garde niche approach to a problem in a traditional market. What do you mean by novel, JJ? JJ, remind me of what you're selling again, because I know you've been on quite a few of my webinars now. Remind me of what it is that you're selling. I'm so sorry that I don't remember. So, but your ideal clients, you need to look at them as, rather than try and look at your ideal client as hundreds of people, look at them as one to begin with. When you look at someone as one, it's easier to break down and process in your mind what that ideal client will look like. So think about these things. What age would you say your ideal clients are? What are their interests? If you don't know the answers to these questions that I'm asking, then you're going to need to research, because these are relevant questions that you will need to know, which is going to help you to understand who your ideal clients are. Are they people that love to shop? Are they heavy spenders? Some of your clients will probably be very big spenders, and that will determine what you sell. Are they people that have got strong buying habits? Are they professionals? Are they, people who potentially could be, are they the elderly? Could be. Are they people who, are you looking for people that are probably businesses? If you're looking to, if your ideal clients are a specific type of business, then you need to be on LinkedIn, because that's where the business people are. Are you selling fashion? Are you selling services? Whatever it is that you're selling, then you need to ask yourself this question: who and what type of person would want to purchase the products and the services that I am selling? Who's going to buy? You need to ask yourself that question. When you can answer who is going to buy or who is interested to buy, your ideal client, the ideal client are the people that will come back time and time again. And ask yourself, who are my services best suited for? Who's going to benefit the most from my services? If you say at this point you don't know, then I would advise that you go and do some research and try and find out and get to know. So JJ saying is a virtual JJ saying a virtual assistant for healthcare equity podcast. Right. And Zoe is saying for information, signposting to services and support. Right. So your ideal clients are people who want information, signposting, services and support. That sounds a little bit general, Zoe. What do they want information, signposting, services and support in? Is there a specific niche that you're focused in? And Lorna says business growth and development. Right, okay. I think I did read that out before, didn't I, Lorna? Yes, I did. Okay, so think about, your ideal clients' interests and passions, their values and their attitudes. Think about the kind of brands that they like. What kind of things frustrates them? What are their pain points? There's 3 things that I want you to note today. First of all, get to know who your ideal clients are. That's the first thing. The second thing is get to know what their pain points are. When I say pain point, I mean what frustrates them, what creates barriers for them, what challenges do they need to overcome, what obstacles do they need to get over, what hurdles do they need to break through. You need to know what it is that is stopping them right now from getting the result that they want. And that's where what you have to offer comes in. So for the person that's selling the fashion jewelry, there's lots of people out there that can't find good fashion jewelry. They can't find good jewelry. There's lots of gold about, you can go into any shops like H.A. Samuel and all the other big stores, and you can see lots of gold. But people want a choice in how they adorn themselves, in how they, dress up or dress down, whatever it is that they're wearing. And you don't always find that in seeing gold jewelry. I wear a lot of fashion jewelry, and the area that I live in now, there's a lot of shops that's moved out of the town and they've moved to a different place, and it's hard to find somewhere to get some great earrings and great fashion jewelry. So I'm now inclined to be looking online for that because I can't see it in my town. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, and this is what I'm trying to say. If you're positioned for someone like me who's now looking for some jewelry, I'm looking for some great earrings that's going to match a beautiful necklace, that's going to match a beautiful bracelet. And there's thousands of people like me that are out there. They can't find it in their town, so they're coming to have a look online. So our pain point would be we can't find it anywhere else. So we're frustrated because we've got outfits that we want to match up with beautiful jewelry and we can't find the jewelry anywhere. So we're frustrated because of that. Can you see what I'm trying to say when I'm talking about what are their frustrations? So you need to think about that and get to understand your market really well. So when you understand your market, you will know how to prepare what it is that they need that's going to help to get them the results that they want. Oh, yes. I have so many fashion emergencies right now, JJ. I couldn't even begin to tell you. You know, but I do need my earrings and my bracelets and my necklace because a girl likes to look good. You know, so that's how you've got to think about when you're thinking about your target audience. Get deep with your thoughts about your target audience. Don't think about them on a surface level because that won't be enough. You want to go really deep and you want to look into why, you know, they are so desperate for your products and your services right now, regardless of what it is that you're selling. Let me just go back to the chat and just remind myself of what those of you have written that you're selling, so I can probably try and give you some help on it. Hang on a minute. I'm just going back up to the chat there. Right. So Tanya said she's starting up with a few projects, interior design, need to finalize branding, buying a domain. Okay. So you're an interior designer, Tanya. Tanya, are you designing homes or are you designing car showrooms? Are you designing stately homes? Are you designing shop windows? What are you actually interior designing for? Who are you, you know, what kind of places are you designing for? So you're saying that you need to finalize your branding. Okay, so let me see. So Tanya says residential from the planning stage with the architect. Okay. So from the planning stage right through to the end, you will design that particular home. We've got clients who are actually home designers as well. So a lot of your clients will be on LinkedIn. That's where a lot of your clients will be. You'll find a lot of them on LinkedIn. And I would suggest that you join. There's quite a few Facebook groups for architects on Facebook. There's quite a few of them. Join those groups as well. And start to network, because you'll find that you'll build collaborations in those groups, Tanya, and you'll meet people that you can actually do business with. But LinkedIn, I think, is where your great clients are going to be. I've got two or three clients who are architects, and they design. One of them designs areas of they redesign areas that goes on within a stately home. So Tanya says, I have construction background as well as 20 years in retail design in London. I find the architect Facebook group don't let you self-promo. Well, how many have you joined? Have you joined quite a few of them? Because when you go in, you need to have an intention why you're there. And most of these groups shouldn't really be about you doing promos. It should be about you collaborating and networking and trying to find people that you can probably do some form of business with. That's the same as LinkedIn. But a lot of them are on LinkedIn, but there are quite a lot of your groups as well on Facebook. So don't look at it with the intent to want to do self-promo, but more with the intent to want to network and collaborate. Because I think that carries a lot more depth than when you're promoting yourself in the group. You know, and there are groups though, every group in Facebook itself, you know, that's hosted by an admin does give you an opportunity to do self-promo as well. It's just finding the one. So let's have a look at our marketing plan. So, you know, earlier on I'd said that you need to have a website because a website is the first part of your marketing funnel. So having a website is the first part of your plan, really. That's basically what it is. It's the first part of your plan. And with your website is the first thing people are going to see. The second thing that they will see once they find your website, because once they find your website, they're going to go and check you out on social media. So you want them to see good quality content that you are posting. And you want them to see that you are the expert. When you post, you never should post your links. You never should be posting buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Content marketing is purely about the content that you want to place in front of your ideal market. It's got to be something that resonates with them. And this is why I'd asked the question earlier, are you taking the businesses that you're setting up from an area of your expertise, or is it something brand new? Because if it's something brand new, you've got to go and learn about it. You've got to understand the market inside out and the industry. You need to understand it, because if you don't, you won't really know who your real market is. You'll think you know, and you'll probably have a guess that you might know, but you don't literally know specifically to the letter who they are. But when you're taking it from your level of expertise, it's very easy, because normally they're very much a reflection of who you are anyway. So, you know, as I said earlier on, you all know that I had an educational background for 25 years. So I understand teachers and educators inside out. I know what makes them tick. I know what makes them cry. I know what frustrates them. I know what makes them laugh. I know what to do to help them to feel as though they're, you know, being uplifted. You know, I understand them. Why do I understand them? Because I was one for a long time. And I know what it's like. And I've gone through the processes that they're going through right now. So it's very easy for me to speak to them with whatever it is. If I plan to sell anything, you know, I can easily speak to them because I understand who they are. I understand the industry. And it's the same thing that you have to ask yourself. If you don't know who your ideal clients are and you're not really working from a place of your expertise and it's a brand new business, that's fine, not a problem, but get to know about the industry. Just do a lot of research around them, get into groups where they are, start asking questions, look at their pain points, look at the things that they're writing about, the things that, you know, they're talking about. They will often tell you what their problem is. You've just got to be prepared to listen. So, you know, the content that you put out there will speak to the ideal client, and then your social media pages will back up the content, because obviously you're going to put the content on your social media pages, but you want to focus on building up your following on your social media pages, because the more following you have is the more eyeballs you're going to get on your content. Do you see how it works? So first of all, your website will pop up somewhere in their newsfeed when you're active online. Then they will see your content, and guess what? They'll go straight to your social media pages. And who knows, there's quite a lot of them will jump into your inbox and say, hey, thanks for the post that you put out there. I saw what you'd put out there, really interested to know a little bit more about you. And that's where you begin to strike up the relationships. What a lot of people don't realize oftentimes is a lot of the sales that people make online are done through relationship building. They're done through conversation. So, there's different types of marketing, and, we've spoken about, website marketing, obviously being the first part of your funnel. Here's some of the factors that I would say you would need to consider, when you're looking at marketing your website. Make sure that it looks attractive. I would say don't use any more than about 3 colors. Don't make it look too busy. We're going to look at websites in a minute that looks, like something that you wouldn't want to desire. And, start with your customers in mind. Your website is not about you. It really isn't, guys. It's about your potential ideal client. If you're gonna if you're gonna do something in your website, and you're going to talk about you and you and you and you, then you're going to repel people from wanting to stay on your website, because people are coming on there because they're looking for a solution to whatever problem they've got. Okay, they're not looking to hear more about who you are, what you do, how many degrees you've got. That's not why they're coming. They're coming because they want to know, has this particular site got what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a great outfit at the moment, and I'm online and I'm on all these great, fashion, trendy kind of websites looking for outfits. The moment I don't see what I want, I'm off. I'm looking on the next website. If I don't see what I want on that one, I'm gone. I'm looking on the next website. And this is what people do. They move from website to website, but you want them to stay on yours for as long as possible. So you want to make sure that it's attractive and it speaks directly to them. It shouldn't be too much text, which is heavy on the eyes. Your images shouldn't be huge. Your video should not be long. You should have a good communication strategy going on each page, where you're actually drawing in the reader with images and text together. Have a balance between the images and the text, and encourage your readers that come onto your websites to sign up to something. And, a lot of people often say to me, well, what do you mean by that, Carol? Don't ask them to sign up to a newsletter. You want to have an area on your website where you can offer something for free that people can actually sign up to. But it should never, ever be sign up to my newsletter and be the first to know what's going on. People are not interested in that, and they won't sign up to that. What people want you to say are things that are going to give them value, things that are going to add a lot of value to them. What can you get them to sign up to a free consultation that's going to give them a result that they want? Can you get them to sign up to some maybe a beautiful pair of earrings that they can get for free? Who knows? I don't know. Or a nice bracelet or something. Can you get them to sign up to a mini weight loss program that they can start working on and see a result of losing a couple of pounds within 2 weeks? Can you get them to sign up to something that's going to be valuable to them, not just a newsletter that's not really going to carry any value, unless in that newsletter, you'd be better off using the word PDF rather than a newsletter, because people are so used to the word newsletter. But can you get them to sign up to something in the PDF that's going to demonstrate and show them how to do something and achieve a result that they want, a step by step? Or maybe you can get them to sign up to a 15-minute video broken up in 5-minute pieces. JJ, you're a VA. So, maybe you can get them to sign up to, you can offer them part of your service, maybe 30 minutes of doing something with them for free. It could be 30 minutes of looking at their SEO for free, or 30 minutes of how to market, their services for free. You know, people want you to give them something valuable because people are super intelligent. You know, we can't assume that they don't have any sense. They do. They do, you know, so it's important, you know, to know, because people, you're welcome, JJ, because people know what they want. And if you can give them something that's going to add value, that draws them to your brand. That's what it does. So just keep this page right here in mind when you're thinking about planning how to market to your ideal clients. You need the website, you need some amazing content, and the content should always speak to where they want to get to. So if you're selling beautiful jewelry, your content should be about different ways of how particular types of jewelry can be worn in the day, in the evening, when they're going to a wedding, when they're going to events. Show different ways of how it can be worn. Show how it can be worn on the beach. Show how it can be worn in the middle of winter. You know, show how these different ways of how they can be. And not only that, talk about you know, the sustainable products that are used to make the metals that are you know, being used to create the jewelry that your potential ideal clients are going to wear. People love valuable information like that, and people will read stuff like that, you know. So it doesn't matter what the industry is, here is the framework for how you set your marketing plan. So, you know, and do encourage them to take an action. Ask them to watch a video, ask them to sign up to something, you know, ask them to click the learn more button, ask them to do something, ask them to send you a direct message, you know, ask them to, you know, join something for free. Maybe you're offering a service and maybe you can give them a 14-day trial or something, you know, so they can sign up to that for free. So these are valuable types of freebies. I think maybe I ought to write a webinar on different types of freebies. I don't know. So I've actually wrote a webinar on e-commerce for beginners. That's going to get promoted soon. So hopefully it'll be something that you'll be interested in. So always give away something valuable for free. Let them feel that that thing's not just something that you didn't think about and it's just a cheapo just to try and get their email address. No, it must be something where they think, wow, this is amazing. If their free is this good, you know what? I want to buy from this person because look how good their free is. And that's how people think. There's a lot of people that buy on emotion. And, you know, and you're looking at one of them. I know you can't see me right now, but I did show my face in the beginning. But, you know, I sometimes buy on emotion, and we all do. How many times do you go to the supermarket to get a loaf of bread and a packet of whatever, biscuits or whatever, and you come out with a half a trolley to a full trolley of shopping? You didn't go with the intention to buy all of that. You only went to get a couple of items, but you come out with a full trolley. Let me know if I'm the only one that does that. Am I the only one that does that? Or do people actually do this? You go into a shop to buy something and you end up coming out with a trolley full of things that you had no intentions of buying. Or are you so super duper organized that you're so good at disciplining yourself to just go and get what you want and walking out? I don't know. Right. So Lorna's saying her call to action is to sign up for a free consultation. That's good, Lorna. Let me add a little bit of that to help, a little bit on top to help you. Let me take a quick drink. So Lorna, what you can do, if you're going to get them to sign up to a free consultation, name the consultation something that they want a result in. Do you understand what I mean? So let me just go back and see what you do again, because it's right at the top. Hang on. Right, so you write funding bids for clients and deliver training courses on how to secure finance. Okay. In call the consultation something with the word finance in it. So, you know, keep the word finance in it so that they know they are coming to you for a particular thing to do with finance. Make that very clear. So call it something. Don't just call it a consultation. Call it, you know, the finance, I don't know, whatever it is, consultation. So the funding finance consultation, or the funding bids consultation, or something like that, but call it the name of the result that they want. So they want money, they want bids, and you're doing it through training courses. So you can call it whatever it is to the result that they want, and keep it nice and short. And then you sell it to them that way. And then when you sell it to them that way, they will understand that. So secure finance and funding consultation, yes. Access to finance and funding, yes, I like that one. And you've kept the word finance in there, that's perfect. And what you do, that's what you sell for free. Now, someone who wants funding, who wants finance, as soon as they see that, oh, I can have a 20 minutes or 15 minutes access to finance and funding consult, they're going to sign up. They'll sign up. You won't have a problem right there, especially when you're speaking to your ideal clients. You won't have a problem getting them to sign up. So that's great. That's lovely. And that's what you do. You name it to whatever it is they want to achieve. And if it's access to finance and funding, that's what you call it. That's great. I like that one. I really like that one. And that only took us 2 minutes to sort that out, Lorna. So, you know, this is why I tell you to participate, you know, and get involved, because you'll get a lot more out of it than if you don't, and you're just sitting on the sidelines. So thank you for, you know, participating right there, Lorna. So let's continue to move forward with our webinar. So let's have a look at the marketing planning that goes on. And, you know, there's lots of things that you need to consider beforehand. Marketing, when you're planning your marketing itself is one of the heartbeats of every business. And it's the best way that you can actually get to know which direction you're going to send your business in. You could decide that you're going to market your business today. And from the results, from the outcome of your market research, you realize what you wanted to sell, a lot of people don't want it, or if they do want it, they want a different version of what you're selling. You wouldn't have known that had you not done the market research. And there's no point in selling something that somebody doesn't want. You may as well ask people what they want and then sell what they say they want. This is why you need to do the market research. This is why marketing, you know, planning for your marketing is very, very important. And it takes a little bit of time to put your plans in place. But these are some of the considerations that you need to have in order to be able to understand exactly what your ideal clients want. So, you know, personas are going to help you to identify and prioritize changes to anything that you're going to offer. And you're really focused on wanting to meet the client's needs. You know, marketing itself can use buyer personas to build effective strategies. So, you know, if you market, let's just say that you're selling, I don't know, some kind of food product, and you're creating your own food from your food van or something, and you decide that you want to, a great way of marketing your food is you cook it, cut it up in little pieces, and you take it out onto the streets. You've got to ask the council's permission, by the way. You take it out onto the streets, just to see what your potential ideal clients will say about it. Some might say it's too hot and spicy. Some might say it doesn't have enough salt. Some might say it needs a little bit more pepper. And all of these things that people are saying, you take and gather that information, you put it into one, and you make your product the best that it can be to suit the things that the customers have said that they want. So, you know, marketing is the best way of getting your brand in front of your potential ideal client. You know, so when creating content, marketing strategies, you know, people are thinking about who you are as a brand. Think about when you go shopping, because we all do it. When you go shopping and you're out there, you know, you're down at the retail park, you're going from shop to shop, you're getting a bit tired, you're getting a bit hungry. What's the first place you think of going to get something to eat? Let me see the first place of where people think of about going to get something to eat. When you're out and about and you fancy a coffee, or you fancy a little bite, where do you think of? What's the place that you think, where's the fastest place I can get somewhere to eat right now? What are in your minds? Occasionally for me, it's probably a quick McDonald's, or I might probably pop to Costa. In fact, I love going to Costa because then I can get a really nice latte. And maybe a sandwich as well. So where's your kind of go-to places when you're out? What pops in your head? Right, so Lorna's saying pret-a-manger. Okay, so some towns don't have a pret-a-manger. So if your town has got one, you're quite fortunate, because I do like pret-a-manger's food. So why pret-a-manger, Lorna, if you don't mind me asking? You know, is there a particular reason why that is? Is it because of somewhere, you know, that you're used to going, or you know, it's just somewhere that you just like? Right. What about the rest of you? Where do you like to go when you're out and about and you just want to grab a quick coffee? You know, it could be a chilly day. You just want to warm yourself up a little bit, or maybe you just need a sandwich. Does anybody like going to McDonald's, or does anyone like going to Costa Coffee or Starbucks or somewhere? So here's why I'm asking this question. Because when you are consistently programmed, and we all are programmed, believe it or not. How are we programmed? Through promotion and advertising, through what we see on our phones, through what we hear, through adverts, through what we see on the television, through what we hear, you know, on audios, and what we see on YouTube. We're constantly being programmed all the time. So when you are hungry and you're out and about, your eyes are drawn to that McDonald's sign. Your eyes are drawn to that Costa Coffee sign. If you've got a pret-a-manger around you, then your eyes are drawn there. You know, so it's because of the programming. It's all to do with the content marketing. And this is why it's important to always put the content that you put out there must be of good quality in order to be able to attract your ideal client. So Zoe's saying that she likes Josie's, which is a local business. Okay. Lorna's saying my target audience are in the city and tend to go to pret-a-manger. Oh, okay. And have you met any of them there? And is that the city of London, or which city is that, Lorna? And Zoe's saying, often use Starbucks, if elsewhere, though, as offer blue light discount. Oh, okay. Lorna's saying most of them are in the city of London. Okay, I can see why you go to pret-a-manger then. So do you meet people in there? Has any one of them become your client from meeting them in there? So this is why it's important to know what you're doing with the planning of your marketing. So, you want to create that instant persona immediately to really get your clients to understand what it is that you do and what you can do for them. So Lorna's saying, most of my clients are white collar. I meet them there for lunch and often meet their associates too. Well, that's fantastic. And, Pret a Manger is quite a nice place to go and eat. So, yeah. So this then creates a great business chain creating work. Well, that's fantastic. That's a really good strategy to have. So let's continue. So domain names. So let's talk a little bit about domain names. And I always say it's important to keep your domain name short and punchy and very simple, straight to the point. So let me give you an example. So let's just say, I'll give you an example of a short and punchy domain name. There's a company called Bedford Budget Tires. Bedford, so it stipulates the location. Budget, for people that doesn't have a lot of money. Tires, they sell tires. They're called Bedford Budget Tires, and their domain name would be bedfordbudgettires.com. Again, you can have another company called something like Cambridge Mechanics. So again, you've got the location. Again, you know what kind of services they're offering. You know that they're a car mechanic place and they're in Cambridge, so they're local. And I've just kind of made that up. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of where we say keep it short and simple, what we mean. Because whatever the name of your domain name is, your email addresses are going to deviate from that. So if you're called, Cambridge Mechanics, then your email would be either info@ or help@ or support@ cambridgemechanics.com. That's nice and short. Now, when you have an enormously long website name or domain name, it's really hard for people to wrap their heads around it. So, think about your domain name if it's very long. People don't have a lot of patience with putting in long domain names. It repels them, and people don't have the time. That people have a 3-second attention span when they're online. So 1, 2, 3, and that's it. They'll move. And, and this is why it's important to not have these long, lengthy domain names that are spelt so awkwardly. And I have come across a few of them over the last few weeks that, I've had to say to the person, could you please spell it for me? Because I have no idea how to spell this. Some of the domain names, I can't even pronounce them. And wordings, letters are spelt, words are spelt differently to how I thought they should be spelled. I'll give you an example. The difference between spelling center and center. So some people spell center CENTRE, some people spell center CENTER. So one spelt the American way, one spelt the English way. And if you're dealing with Americans and you've spelt it the English way, it creates a problem when they go to put it in their browsers, vice versa. So you've got to be quite clear that there's no mishaps, there's no miscommunication on the different kind of way you pronounce your, your domain names. Don't put any hyphens or abbreviations or numbers in them. It becomes so confusing. I remember the other day someone said to me, I can't remember the name of what they told me to go and have a look at, but it had something like the number. It had the word. Well, it had the word 5, and I thought it was the word FIVE, but it wasn't. It was the number 5. Now, that gets really confusing. Why do you want to confuse the situation? Why not just give your name a very simple, give your business a very simple name where people don't have to think too hard. People don't have to think, is it the word 5 or is it the number 5? Is it the word and or is it an Anderson? What is it? You don't want, keep all confusions away from your potential ideal client, because you'll repel them, and you don't want to do that. Make things very simple, make life easy for them, because remember, everybody's life is quite difficult. Well, I say everybody, maybe not everybody's, but a lot of people are already having lots of stresses in their lives. They don't want to go to a website and then feel stressed out about trying to find the correct name for the site and can't do it. I've had that experience so many times where I've gone into a site to look for a site and I've had to pick the phone up and say to the person that I can't find your site. And then they'll say, well, did you put in the number 5 or did you write the word 5? Well, I put in the word 5. Oh, it should have been the number 5. Listen, people don't have time for that. And, just keep it really short, really professional, really simple. And just remember that you're going to need to have an email address that corresponds with the domain name. So, keep it nice and short, not too long. And, hosting your website, prices vary depending on who you go with. Some will charge £6 and up to £20, and it depends on how many pages you have. If you have lots and lots of pages, then you're going to pay more for your hosting. If you have less pages, then your hosting packages is going to cost you less. And I would say, put your hosting on automatic, so that when it comes to the year end of it, it will automatically renew, because sometimes you might not see your email. And that has happened to me this week. I had a particular email address that I had for years, and it had a lot of things in it that I still was using. And, my email inbox became full, my inbox of another email where I normally get all that, information from them about my emails. That box became so full that I did not receive the email, because something must have been bouncing back. And, I lost that particular email address that was so dear and so precious to me. I had it for several years, and, I didn't even realize that they'd sent me the renew, because everything was just bouncing back because my inbox was full. So, don't make that mistake that I've made, but do keep an eye on keeping things on automatic renewal. Had I had got that on automatic renewal, I wouldn't have lost it. I would have still had it today. And it's got quite a lot of training stuff in there as well. So they told me that it can't be retrieved. So I was kind of quite gutted yesterday. So think about when you're hosting that you want to have it on renewal. And hosting as well can also be a yearly subscription. You can pay for it monthly. It's entirely up to you. They do give you a choice. If it's cheaper to go yearly, do yearly. If, you can't do yearly and you can only do monthly, then that's fine as well. So you've just got to think about what's best for you and what suits you more, really, and then make a decision from there. But, hosting now can be anywhere. I would say £20 is going to be for your more, heavier websites, and £6 is going to be for probably about, 5 pages. A lot of websites now, I think mine was £13 for my email hosting, and for my website hosting, it was about £20 thereabouts. So, you can pay different prices depending on who you're hosting with. GoDaddy does website building. They also do hosting, and they also offer all kind of domain names as well. So maybe that's somewhere that you might want to look. On our wenta.co.uk website, if you go into savings and then go into feel good and feel great, you will also see people there that do offer certain packages as well to you. So we're at the top of the next hour, and we're going to take another break for 10 minutes. And it'll be good if you don't shut your computers down, but just pause and I'll see you shortly. Okay, everyone, we're back. So we are at the final hour before we conclude our webinar. So I hope you've been getting something out of this so far. I hope you've been able to write down and take lots of notes, and it's been beneficial for you today. And with the hope that you'll be able to grab something tangible, take it away, and be able to apply it to your business straight away. So let's have a look at, website speeds, because when you're creating your own website, it's important to consider, the different kind of files that you'll be adding to your websites. What I always recommend is that any photographs that you put up, have them professionally done, because when they are professionally taken, it's going to give a really, really good sense of your professionalism. And you can have some branding, as they're called, branding photographs, as they're called, taken, that brands your business, and you can blend that in to who you are, as to what you're offering as well. When you're going into an e-commerce business, Shopify, they do a normal version, which is about £29 a month, but they also do a paid version as well, a more expensive, more bespoke version of the website. I've seen, one of our clients have got hers done through Shopify, and she's got the bespoke one that she's had specifically created. It's not the normal £29 a month. I think she paid nearly just under a little under 500 for it. And it's beautiful, absolutely amazing. So, you can go for either or. I don't know what prices they will charge. It depends on what you want, but they obviously have got their professionals that considers all these things to do with speed and loading and all this kind of thing. So, but if you're doing it yourself, you'll need to think about the files that you're going to be putting in. Think about the size of the images. Make sure that you avoid putting in pages, website pages that aren't necessary, and that really doesn't need to be there. Don't just pack things in for trying to fill the website out. Make sure every single thing is relevant to what you want your ideal clients to know about you. So, any pages where you have a lot of subheadings, people will get fed up with that. If you're selling e-commerce and you're selling a lot of different types and styles of something, that's different. But if it's something like a service, then you really don't need any more than about 5, possibly 6 different pages. People's attention span, as I said earlier on, is very, very low. Don't overload your page by trying to put so much information on it. Don't put the kitchen sink on it. In other words, your website should look professional. It should be user friendly. It should tell the potential client what you can do for them. And this is a way of how people will get to resonate with your brand. So any videos that you're going to be putting on your website, don't put anything that's going to be really, really long or heavy, or doesn't look professional. You can actually have a professional video done in a studio, and you could hire out a studio for like £100 for half a day or something, and have a professional video shot in that studio specifically for your website, rather than have it done at home, which isn't going to look where it needs to look, really, because you'll probably have lots of things going on in the background as well. Whereas in a studio, it's clear, white, plain background, it's quiet, no noise, and you can shoot a professional video, which is what a lot of people do in a studio. So let's talk a little bit about site security, because a lot of you will be familiar with, these captures that we often see, these little kind of signs to ensure that we're not a robot and we're a real person. It'll tell you to identify how many traffic lights you can see in the picture, or how many zebra crossings you can see in the picture, or how many mountains or caves or whatever it is that they ask you, because they're trying to identify that you are definitely a real person. And it's what people use as a way of securing their sites. But you know, there are hackers out there, and we've just got to do what we can do to ensure that we minimize the amount of problems that occurs during, you know, the creation of your website. So by making sure that it's only humans, you know, this capture is put in place. Has anyone fill these in? Have you gone to websites and seen these captures and you've had to fill them in, whether you're signing up to something online or not? You've seen them and you've had to fill them in? Let me know. So, you know, they're there for a reason. And it's to stop bots from logging on to your sites. You know, you put them on your sites to benefit you, to benefit, you know, because some people do have bots logging onto their site and it's not a real human being. And if you do have a lot of that and you're having problems with being able to read your data analytics and you're seeing that it's a bot and it's not really a human being, then it's going to cause you quite a lot of frustration. So, you know, when you're creating your sites, you need to think about the security that you want to put in order to ensure that people don't just, not just people, but bots as well, or hackers can't get in as quick as they think that they can. So let's have a look at the keywords and any legal things. So I'll give you an opportunity now to read this before we talk about it. Okay, so as you can see, and I'll take point 2, it states your website needs to be eye-catching. You know, include the right images in your website, and that can play a huge role in how your website appears. So here are 7 qualities of a great website. Maybe you might want to write these down. So the first one is a well-designed and functional site reflects your company. It reflects your products and your services and also your brand. That's the first thing. That's what a great website does. Okay. The second thing that a great website should be, it should be very easy to use. The third thing is it should be optimized for mobile. So when you create your sites, do make sure that you optimize it for mobile. It's very easy to forget because you're excited that you've created it and you've forgotten to optimize it for mobile. So optimize it for mobile. And the fourth thing is make sure that the content on it is relevant to your ideal client. And the fifth thing is it should be accessible. There should be a contact page where people can easily access you. And number 6, there should be a clear call to action. So ask them to do something, sign up to something, learn more about something, you know, put your email in here because I'm going to give you this or that. And number 7, it should be optimized for search engine, meaning the right keywords needs to be on the right pages of your website. So let's have a look at this website, and I want you to tell me your honest opinion on what you think about this particular website. Lorna's saying shocking. What is shocking about it, if you don't mind sharing that, Lorna? So what do the rest of you think about this website? So I'm not quite sure. Start from wherever you want to. So Alison's saying it's very busy and unclear what to focus on. It hurts her eyes. Lorna's saying there's no obvious starting point. What are they selling? Okay, so down here, if we look right at the bottom of the page, it says, hi, I'm Ling from Dragon's Den. I lease cheap new cars. So she says what she's selling down here. She's selling cheap new cars. But she's made sure that she's given Dragon's Den a plug because she went on Dragon's Den. So lots of people obviously saw her. But honestly, she created this website and she actually used this website for her business. This is a real website. This isn't a made up website. It's a real one. So, you know, she used this. It's very cluttered, as you can see. You know, the navigation's hidden. It's got lack of color contrast. Why the dogs and the chicken? I think this is her way of putting in extra things that isn't really required. She's selling cars, but yet she's got a dog in there. This is a good example of don't put things on your page that doesn't require it to be there. And she's got the chicken. So those aren't even, and then she's got, you can see she's got some information here that she's received from clients. Any tech, if you need to rent a car, here's the winner. She's got stuff going on about how to win cars and things and how to rent cars. You know, so you're right. The dogs and the chicken doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So, but it's very cluttered. Crystal says there's a lot going on. It's hard to look at it. It is. So this is the way of how not to create your website. You know, you want to make sure that your website's responsive in the design. Lorna says there's too many colors. There are too many colors, Lorna. I totally agree. And it's very busy. You don't know where to start from. There's not even a menu bar to click on. You know, so you don't know where to start. So this is the way of how not to create your website. Here's another one. What do you think of this one? It's probably not as busy as the first, but what would you say is probably different about this? So, you know, when you look at the color contrast, red, too many colors, Lorna says, red can be difficult to read. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. So, you know, again, it's a way of not doing your website this way. Crystal says it's hard to read. It's not as busy as Ling's. It looks a teeny weeny bit more structured, but it's still very difficult to read. And there's too many of the cars to the left. That's quite dazzling as well. So I'll give you the opportunity to read this little bit of information here about functionality and usability. And then we will explore the content of that. So JJ said it's limited in its content and creativity, too many repeats, elements just to take up space. Again, it's putting on unnecessary information that doesn't really resonate with the ideal client. Okay, so functionality and usability. One of the key points there that I think I'd like to pull out of this is the second point, communication. Your website visitors want information quickly. You should make information easy to read and digest. And remember, they don't want to see a lot of text on one page. Use headings and subheadings. I don't really like seeing bullet points on websites, but great quirky headings and then subheadings looks great, depending on what kind of website it is that you're creating. But you want to make sure that your visitors are going to have a really good browsing experience. And when we're talking about navigation, you want to ensure that they can move from one page to the other page with ease. It shouldn't be difficult for them. So, if you're gonna, I'll give you an example. The other day, someone created a website and I clicked on their logo, and their logo took me to the homepage, and that shouldn't happen. So this is why I'm saying make sure that you test the functionality really well and make sure that it works. Make sure that people can navigate through the site very easily with no problems. Always make sure that you've optimized it for mobiles, and check it. Go in and put your browser into the mobile and see what it looks like when your site comes up. You should look absolutely great. Everything should fit in the phone. You shouldn't have pieces of your information that's cut off, or pictures that are too big and it fills the whole phone. It should all be in its right context. So think about that when you're actually focused on the functionality and the usability. And don't create huge amounts of information for one page. It's going to slow down the loading time of your page. Big videos is going to slow down the loading time. Huge images is going to slow down the loading time. So you want to make sure that everything is as it should do. You can test your images. Go to canva.com and you can test, you can create images specifically for mobile phones using mobile phone templates. And, some of what Canva offers is free. Some of it is paid. Most of it is paid, though, these days. So I'll give you an opportunity to read about the structure of how your website should be. Right, JJ, are you based in the USA? Because JJ is saying in the USA, it is always taught that the logo should take navigation back to the homepage. JJ, I have been in the business world for since 2006, and I've had a few websites created. And I've worked with, I don't know how many other people's websites, and I have never, and I can honestly say, hand on heart, I've never ever seen a logo that takes someone to the homepage. I've never seen it in my life, and I've never known it to happen. And I've worked with professional web designers, and they have never created me websites where my logo has ever taken anyone back to the homepage. So I'm not quite sure how you've actually come across that information. I don't know. Is it some training that you've had or something? I don't know. But when someone visits your site, they will normally see a homepage, an about us page, probably they'll see a contact us page, maybe a testimonial page, possibly a blog page, and the different services that you offer. And people wouldn't normally click on a logo. They are going to click on the menu bar that they see, because the logo is normally static. But when you're creating your own website, if there is a link that you have put in the wrong place from the logo that leads to the homepage and you click on it, it will automatically go there. So JJ is saying it is a mantra in the USA. I totally am listening to you, but this is what they teach. Does the logo just sit on the page? Well, as I said, I've had several websites done, and I have never ever clicked on my logo and it's taken anyone to the homepage. So, and I've never had a designer that has ever told me, Carol, your logo needs to be connected to the homepage. I've never ever heard it. So if it's something that they teach in the USA, I'm not going to dispute it if that's what they teach. But saying that, I've worked with people in the USA. All the educators that I used to work with and the teachers, 95% of them were Americans. And, you know, whenever I've gone in to, you know, assist with looking at websites and things like that, I have never, ever seen a logo being clicked to the homepage. So I've never seen it. Right. So Lorna's saying in Google searches in the images tab, some logos links to the homepage. Right. Yeah, I've not seen it. I've not experienced it. So I'm not going to say it's I'm not going to dispute it in regards to Americans, but I've never seen it. I've never had one created where that has happened deliberately. Never. So let's talk about the structure of your website. So maybe that's something that we can do some more research into, JJ. I don't know. You know, so maybe that's something that we can look at a bit further. And if there's anything that I find out about it, about the logo being linked to the website, then the next time I come to deliver this, I can talk about it on here. That's very interesting, Tanya. Maybe this is a different way because I've never, ever experienced that. Okay, so let's talk about the structure of how the website should be. So before you start to add content to your website, it's really important to map out the structure. So think about how you want to lay everything out. Which do you want to come first? So oftentimes when people go to your website, the first page that they mainly land on, unless someone is running a paid advertisement and they have chosen a specific page which they want, you know, their potential ideal clients to go to, people would normally organically land on the homepage. And then they would go in and have a look at what's going on. You know, if they like the homepage, they are going to move forward with the rest of the information on your website. So, you know, structuring how you want your website to be laid out is really important in terms of, you know, where do you want to lead people to? Do you want them to go to the home page first and then the About Us page? Some people put the home page and then About Us. Some people put the About Us and then the home. You know, so there's no right or wrong way, but I would say don't put the home and the About Us page right at the very end. Keep it more to the left than you would pull it to the right. So a website would often consist of, you know, content on a variety of related topics, that's presented on particular posts or pages. And if ever you get stuck on what content to create, go to your website and you can get some inspiration from things that are already on your website that you can create in a post. So you can repurpose a lot of the things on your website, which is what a lot of people tend to do. And, you know, wherever people see you on social media, you should look the same all the way round. So, you know, if you've got specific colors that you're working with, everywhere they go, that reflection should still be the same. So let's have a look at an idea of structure. And, you know, again, it doesn't matter what you're selling, whatever it is that you're selling, you'll still need structure on your website anyway. Here's an idea, and we're just using these products as an example. So if you're planning on selling e-commerce, so let's just say you're going to sell, I don't know, let's just say hats, jackets, trousers, it's a good idea to keep everything to do with hats in the hat collection. Because this is how you see it when you go into a store. You'll see everything to do with one part of whatever it is that they're selling in one area. So if it's shoes, you see all the shoes together. If it's dresses, you see all the dresses together. If it's skirts, you see all the skirts together. And it's not kind of a mishmash of all different types of things going on. So on your site, you want to keep everything to do with that one particular thing that you're selling in one area. So let's just say we've got hats, we've got jackets, and we've got the trousers. So now we are talking about keeping all the hats in one area, as I've just said. And they're all different types of hats that you could potentially be selling. Not that you are selling hats, but this is just an example of what I'm trying to, I'm using this as an analogy to explain what I'm trying to say. So you're going to keep everything in one place. So if you're selling informational products or digital products, depending on what you're selling, will determine where you place that on your website. It's always good to have a service. If you're selling services, have a service tab. If you're selling, I don't know, products, then you can have a gallery tab. And everything should be kept in one place in that area. And then if you want to separate certain things out, maybe you want to highlight something for that particular season, then you can pull it out on your website and highlight it within that season. So, you know, you've always got to focus on keeping things in a uniformed way so that people find it very easy to navigate around your website. If you were mixing the trousers with the hats and the hats with the coats, it would be a mishmash of so many different things and people would get fed up because they wouldn't hang about. But, you know, when I go on websites and I'm looking for beautiful dresses, I like the way they've structured what they do, because you can key in cocktail dresses and all the cocktail dresses will come up, or you can key in evening wear or bridal wear and everything comes up under those headings. So it's all about having the right structure. So let's have a look at some of the pages that you can potentially work with. Now, if you're offering services, then you can have your homepage, your about us, and this would say service if you're offering services. If it's products, then you're going to have different types of products. Or if it's you know, something where you need people to you know, connect in a way with what you're doing, you could show them the gallery. So if you're to catering or food or anything, you would have what you call a gallery. And I would say it's always a great idea to have a way of how people can reach out to you. So have a contact us page. If you're offering services, you could also have your calendar under the contact us page where people can actually book an appointment with you. And if that's what you want to offer, some kind of a consultation, you can also put that on your home page as well, where as soon as people get on the home page, they can see that if they put their email in, they can sign up to a free, amazing, you know, asset and funding finance consultation or whatever it is that you want them to sign up to. Some people use blogs on their website, and that's great. You know, I've got a client who's put some absolutely amazing blogs on her website. It's all to do with nutrition. It's amazing information. And she's put these beautiful bowls of fruit and different colored food, plant-based food, and all, you know, these beautiful different types of food. And it makes the blog look really pretty because she's got a great you know, thumbnail of how her blogs are displayed. So think about the thumbnail that you want to use for your blogs. Think about the information, the content of the blog. Make sure whatever it is that you're blogging about, that it helps to give people a solution to whatever it is that you're talking about. And, you know, people over on LinkedIn absolutely love reading blogs. They love it. They love to read articles. So if you're into writing articles, blogging is a way of how you can write your articles on LinkedIn. And a great way of how you can also sell your products, because let's just say you're talking about a particular service and you're blogging about it and someone's reading it and they're agreeing from what they're reading. They can see that you know exactly what you're talking about and they're agreeing and they're nodding their head. And you say, well, if you want to know more about, this particular product that's going to help you, say with your nutrition, click on this link to make your purchase. And then they click on that link, which takes them straight to your website, or it could be that they've seen you on LinkedIn, they've seen the blog, they've clicked the blog, takes them to the website, or the blog can already be right there, on the website. So, there's different ways of how you can encourage people to buy your products and your services. So, putting your blog pages on isn't necessarily going to be for everyone. Again, it depends on what you're selling, what you're offering. Maybe if you're more of a service based, maybe you might not want blogs on there, but you probably might want testimonials on there so that people can click on and go straight into a testimonial and look at several testimonials that people have spoken about how great you are. So testimonials is a great way of ensuring that your potential ideal client can reach you. Because remember, people buy into social proof. People buy into what other people say. So good testimonials, relevant testimonials, and current testimonials are very, very important to your potential ideal client. But a homepage is generally the first page that they do see. And it serves also as a way of attracting visitors to go on to read more. The About Us page, a lot of people sometimes get the About Us page wrong. The About Us page should really be not just about you, but about what your ideal clients want, what you can do for your ideal clients. A small paragraph can be about you, but then you can also tell them about what your services can do for them. And don't be afraid to even ask a question on your homepage as well. When we land on the homepage is the door that you open up to welcome people. And you could have a video there that you're welcoming someone, or a video where you ask a question and then you give people some information that's really inspiring and that will resonate with them. You will know your ideal clients. So if you don't know them, get to know them. So your homepage is a very important page. It's the door that opened up to say, hi, you're so welcome, come in. So when we talk about the product page is going to help customers to decide if they want to buy. Customers will buy if they believe that the price point is right. If they can resonate, if they think this is what they need and they think, oh, that's very reasonable, they will buy. But if they think that the website doesn't reflect the price points of the products, the customers get repelled. And many times customers will go to what we call the cart, but then they abandon the cart. They'll go to the page where they're ready to pay, and then all of a sudden they've decided, nope, I've decided I don't want this anymore. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone on a website, gone as far as going to pay, and then you've decided, no, don't want it, and you've abandoned the cart? Who's done that? Yeah, I think we've all done it. I think if hand on heart, I think we've all done it. So you've got to think, again, that's something that will show up in your analytics. Every time someone decides that they're not going to buy, that will show up. And the functionalities now of, say, a Wix website or a WordPress website are very, very good. They have very good functionalities. And with your WordPress, you can add a lot of plugins to your website now. And there's lots of other things that you can do, because WordPress is becoming, they're developing, the template a lot more than what they ever done before. So there's a lot more plugins that you can add now to give you better functionality. So again, this is the structure. As I said, some people start with the about us first. There's nothing to say that you can't. And starting with the home page first is fine as well. People tend to, this is how people read, and this is how we read when we're reading a book, don't we? Don't we read from the top to the right? We do, don't we? And then we come down to the bottom. So that's why I say, your home and about needs to be on the left-hand side of your menu bar and not the right. And I have actually seen websites that's been created with no homepage and no menu bar. I've seen those websites. I've seen them with no homepage and no about us, and even no homepage and no menu bar at all. And I've seen websites where menu bars have been put at the very bottom of the website. So again, you've got to be conscious of what it is that your ideal client wants. They want easy navigation. They want to feel really welcome on your site. People come on the website really because they want to spend a bit of time. They don't want to jump off, but if they get very bored, if they get bored quick, they're going to jump off. So let's talk a little bit about the keywords, because the keywords that goes on your website are very, very, very important. Why are they important? Because the keywords will enable your potential ideal clients to find you faster. Google knows what kind of keywords should be on your site, because how do they know? Remember, Google is the largest search engine in the world, and there are thousands of people that are searching for the kind of products and services that you sell. So when they go into Google to put in, let's just say, fashion jewelry, earrings, a lot of people, Google is going to show that person, the user, that a lot of people have already searched for this. And Google will show what kind of words that people have used. You can also go into keywordtracker.com, keywordtracker.com, and in keywordtracker.com, you can put in your industry specific, and it will tell you what kind of keywords are being used for your industry. You can also go over to social media platforms like LinkedIn and have a look at what words are trending in your industry. Those, when you see things that are trending in your particular industry that you want to focus on selling in, then look at those words as well. So these are tips on how you can know what kind of keywords. Look at what people are hashtagging, and you will find that some of what they're hashtagging will become trending, meaning a lot of people are using those words. So, don't just create what you think people are looking for. You've got to be strategic about it. Your strategy, your basic strategy is going to ensure that whatever you create will that content, that piece of content will be exactly what people are searching for. You don't want it to be hit and miss. You want them to hit that target. So search engine optimization is crucial for when you're creating your website. So Lorna says, yes, SEMrush is really good to find keywords and key phrases. Yes, that's another one. So, you can think about the keywords. And again, when you go into places like Facebook and places like that, have a look at the kind of words, when you're in groups, have a look at the kind of words that people are using, because it's nothing sophisticated. Honestly, it's not. When a word is trending, it means a lot of people is saying it. And if you can see that it's trending and a lot of people are saying it, those are the kind of words that you need to include in your website when you're talking about what services and products you offer. Use the words of your potential ideal client. So the benefits of keywords especially like things in a title. You know, earlier on I gave you some examples, Bedford Budget Tire, .com. So they've made it geographical specific. Sometimes that can be a downside if you put a keyword in the area of where you are, because what if you want to expand your business and you've called it Bedford Budget Tires? What if you want to expand it into another area and another area? It can't just be called Bedford Budget Tires, because now it's in all different areas that aren't Bedford. So you'd probably have to rename it. And maybe that's a thought for you to probably think about. Do I want a business that can potentially grow? And if you want a business that can potentially grow, then make sure that the name that you choose will fit where you want to be in 5 years from now, 3 to 5 years from now. So don't just you know, pin it down to one geographical location. Keep it broad in terms of the name, because you want to be able to make sure that your business can grow a little bit later on. So here's some examples. You know, your titles and subtitles and any body within any text that you write within your website, it's important to make sure that you not only have the keywords in the title, but it must also be in the body of the information of what you write. So when you're thinking of what keywords to put in your text, think about what you think your potential ideal clients would call certain things, that certain services or products that you sell or offer. So sometimes you are a reflection of your ideal clients. So you will know what kind of verbiage and language you would use, and think about it that way. You can put keywords into videos as well. You can, you know, if you're offering a 3-part video service, you can have keywords that you talk about. You can mention keywords, and you see the algorithms will pick up whatever it is that you say about a keyword. And if it's in something on your website, when the algorithm picks that up, and remember the algorithm measures activity, and it can see that you are active online, it's going to keep on sending people to your particular site. Let me know if you've ever shown up, if you've ever landed on someone's website without even realizing how you got there. Because that's happened to me and a lot of people, you know, so many times, where you're browsing, you're on social media, and all of a sudden this website pops up, or you're on Google and all of a sudden this website pops up and you want to click on it. You know, the other day I was on Yahoo. I was on Yahoo, and I think I was in my email box or just about to get there, and this website popped up. And it was a website to do with fashion, and it's not a website that I had been on, but then I had previously been looking at other websites to do with fashion and clothing. So Google obviously wanted to show me this one, and this is what I'm trying to say. When you've got keywords in the right places, you'll be able to then, you know, get your website showing up in front of other people that might potentially be interested in buying your products and services, because the algorithm is doing the heavy lifting for you. You're not doing it yourself. You're just positioning yourself, but the algorithm is sending people to you. So, you know, measuring your success and key performance indicators is very, very important. As I said, once your site's up and running, you will always have good, analytics in the back end of your website. You know, so it's important to know how your website is performing, what's happening, you know, how well it's doing. Are people bouncing off? If they are, why are they bouncing off? How many have you had visited? How many have you had watched the video on your website? You know, what pages did they stay the longest on? You need to know all of that kind of data, because you need to know if it's working. If you've noticed that they're, you know, being repelled from a particular page, maybe you might need to change the information on that page. So there's lots of things that you've got to consider in reading the data. The data is very, very important. So let's talk a little bit about the data, because, you know, the data tells us exactly what's going on the site. You know, when I first had my WordPress site done, I had Google Analytics in the back end of my website, and it was amazing. There was just so much detail. This is only like the first page of Google Analytics. There's, you know, the pages are so much. There's several different pages that you can click onto. And it would tell you everything that was going on in your website. It would show you the pie chart. It would show you how many people visited your website on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And it would show you what times of the day. It would show you the countries that they came from, and so much information. And that's what you need to read all the time, and listen to the data, respond to the data. If something needs changing, if people aren't resonated with something, change it. So I'll give you an opportunity just to read this legal compliance page, and then we'll talk about this. So oftentimes people will ask, do they need to register with the ICO to become GDPR compliant? So it's all to do with data protection. Now, if you do have a website, if you're with a platform like, say, Shopify or WooCommerce, or, you know, one of those American ones, they normally are GDPR compliant anyway. So you don't need to get yourself registered with the ICO, because they've already done it. But if you're not with a platform like that, and you're selling e-commerce, and you're using a website that you've built yourself, you do need to become GDPR compliant. It's very important that people do know that you are protecting their data, and you're not going to share it with any other third party. You also need to have your refund policy on your site, and that's whether you're selling services or products. It doesn't matter, because people can still, you can offer someone a service and they not be happy with it, and they'll come back to you and say, I want my money back. Well, have you got a refund policy in place to explain to them that they either can get their money back or they can't get their money back? So you've got to make sure that you've got that in place. You also need a privacy policy in place. You know, and that's going to tell people all about, you know, your personal data and how to comply with general information. And, you know, it's going to show them that you're protecting, you know, their rights and their space and everything. You know, but you've got to make sure that people are aware. You want them to know what your terms and conditions are, and you know, what you expect of them when they come on the site versus what they expect to receive from the site when they come on the site. That needs to be in your website. If you are a registered company, you can also put your registration, your company's registration number at the bottom of your website, at the very, very bottom of your website, so people can see that you are a legitimate registered limited company. So, you know, there's lots of things that you can do to make sure that you are compliant. You know, and to be honest, every single business owner should all have business insurance as well. You know, you don't need to put on the website that you've got business insurance, but you should have business insurance to cover your business. That's so important. A lot of people think because they're working online, they don't need it, but that's not true. You need to have you know, business insurance to cover what you're doing and to stay compliant, you know, with making sure that if anything happens, you're covered. It's reducing the risk for you, you know, so it's very, very important. So, you know, just make sure that GDPR's covered, And any landing pages that you send out, if you're doing any form of advertising, you should always tell that person who clicks on that landing page that you will not share their data because you're covered by the Data Protection Act. And you put that on your landing pages so that people can see that straight away, because that will give people confidence as well to know that you're not going to do something illegal with their information. So let's have a look at platform AdWords and the traffic for webinars. So when we look at different types of websites, you can have a website built by the people at 1&1 or Weebly or WordPress. There's Wix, there's GoDaddy, there's Yola. The popular ones are WordPress, Wix, and GoDaddy. 1&1 is still very popular. It's an American firm. So, but you can decide which one you want to use. GoDaddy kind of does like, they'll do websites, they do domains, they do hosting, they do the whole package really. Some people use Squarespace. My daughter used Squarespace to make her website, and she did a great job. There's lots of people, there's lots of different ones that you can use. It's what you feel comfortable with. But remember what I said earlier on, the most important thing when you're creating your own website, you must have some knowledge on SEO, even if you go and do some research around it and do some research around HTML coding, so you know what bits to connect with, what bits to get the results that you want on your site. So pay-per-click, this is a way of doing search engine marketing. Lots of companies are out there helping people, with search engine marketing. And pay-per-click, basically, it's a model of internet marketing which advertisers pay a fee, for every ads that are clicked, and they do it through the use of keywords. So, you've got to decide if advertising is right for you. I would say that when you do have a large following and you have something that you want to market, then that's the best time to do your ads is when you have a large following and what you're marketing is going to resonate with your ideal client. Don't do ads until you've built up organically. When you've really got good quality clients following you, then it'll work for you. I remember not too long ago, I was running a webinar, and there was a person on the webinar who had done, within 1.5 years, she got 75,000 people on LinkedIn, which was amazing. And she's been monetizing quite a lot of these people on her LinkedIn. So, and she's done a lot of it through organic marketing, not even paid, but she had the right content. She was talking to the right people, and she was on the right platform. That's why they resonated with her message. So, very, very important. Some of you might want to do pay-per-click ads. Some of you may not. But build the following on whatever platform, and don't stretch yourself too thin. Try and focus on one platform or 2 platforms, no more than that, and build that before you move to the rest. Don't be all over the place, because then you'll be working round the clock. And you can schedule your posts and make yourself look as busy as you want without physically having to be there all the time. So, when you get the right keywords in and you've got the right information going, then you could potentially end up at the top of Google. Again, it depends on if you get the balance of all the factors right. So, the right keywords, the right products that you're offering, the right people that you're talking to, and the right price point. So the 4 Ps, very important. So, but, social media is very, very important for you getting your website out there. There's no point in just creating a website, because creating a website It's you speaking to someone without physically doing it. And that's why I say it's the first part of your marketing funnel. And that's why you've got to get it right. You've got to get it right. And it needs to speak to the ideal client for them to resonate. Once people see that marketing funnel, that first bit, they're going to go to your content. This is why you post the right things on your pages and not just about your dog's dinner. And that's what a lot of people tend to post on Facebook. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but remember your marketing plan. Remember the plan. So it's the website and then the content and then the social media pages. Sometimes people like to see a map on a website. It's not something that I personally would recommend, but when you do have a really good website, you do show up in Google very well if you've got really good keywords going on in your site, and it's what people are actually looking for. Thank you so much, Tanya. You will get a copy of this particular webinar. We're about to finish now. So let's just quickly have a look at what this says to do with videos. So a video content site free from Google. It's very, very simple to embed and share. So videos are very good for use in advertising or content marketing. People love videos. So use more and more videos, when you're marketing your content. Get people to sign up to, 3-part series of a video that's probably 5 minutes long. Nothing really extensive, but remember, they've got to be functional on your mobile phone as well. And this is just some information about your account security. We spoke about the security of your account, your website's account. Make sure if there's any passwords or permissions that you need people to access, only they have them. And provide, your developer with, the editorial rights. Any developer that creates a website for you, make sure that you have got the master copy and the keys to everything, because you don't want to get locked out of your website. So bear that in mind. So here's a note of where you can find us and how you can reach out to us. And if you would like to book an appointment with me to go through your website or anything else to do with business, then you can reach out to the business advisory team at wenta.co.uk or call us on 01438 3100 20. Or if you want to book an appointment as well, you can also send an email to info@wenta.co.uk. On our website, you'll see the Eventbrite links. You'll also see the training links as well, where you can go and book onto a webinar like this one. I just want to take this time out to say thank you so much for sharing this time with me today and for investing the time in yourself. And I hope you've got quite a lot out of this today. And I hope there's been things that you'll be able to go away and, create some great websites. And if you want any support from us, do book an appointment and we'd be happy to go through whatever it is that you need to go through. Again, have a wonderful weekend, as we're near the weekend now, and I hope to see you on the next webinar. Take care. Bye-bye.